Man shot on Winchester Road in St. Andrew. A male employee of a courier business located on Winchester Road in St. Andrew was shot this morning. A section of roadway has been cordoned off as investigators process the scene. Details of the shooting are yet to be released. Motorists are being advised to use alternative routes. Drop in U.S. border crossings by Caribbean and other migrants. Washington, CMC- the United States Customs and Border Protection, CBP, agency says statistics show that border crossings in July by Caribbean and other migrants along the southwest border were lower than in July 2022. CBP also said Border Patrol encounters remain lower than during the months leading up to the end of the Title 42 public health order. Many of the migrants crossing the southwestern borders of the U.S. and arriving in New York are nationals of Cuba and Haiti, as well as those from Venezuela and Guatemala. We remain vigilant and continue to adjust our operational plans to maximize enforcement efforts against those individuals who do not use lawful pathways or processes, knowing that smugglers continue to use disinformation to prey on vulnerable individuals, said Troy A. Miller, senior official performing duties of the commissioner. In July 2023, CBP said it recorded 132,652 encounters between ports of entry along the southwest border, a 27% decrease from July 2022 when the Title 42 public health order was in effect. It said while total encounters increased from June to July, encounters of single adults between ports of entry remained flat, which is indicative of the success of our work to maximize the use of expedited removal after the end of the Title 42 public health order, which was initially focused primarily on single adults. Additionally, it said Border Patrol encountered fewer single adults on the southwest border in the entire month of July than in the early days of May before the lifting of Title 42. In July, CBP said Border Patrol encountered an average of 2,016 single adults per day, down from 6,164 per day the first 11 days of May. Total southwest border encounters in July, including individuals who presented at ports of entry with or without a CBP-1 appointment, were 183,503, a decrease of 8% from July 2022. CBP said it has undertaken significant efforts in recent years to expand its capacity to aid and rescue individuals in distress. The CBP's latest data comes as New York Governor Kathy Hochul said New York is continuing efforts to support Caribbean and other asylum seekers, help them find shelter, and connect them with critical social services as they arrive in the state. CBP said it is processing all non-citizens under Title 8 immigration authorities, and generally placing non-citizens who cross the border unlawfully into expedited removal or Section 240 removal proceedings. Generally, it said non-citizens who cross between the ports of entry or who present themselves at a port of entry without making a CBP-1 appointment are subject to the circumvention of lawful pathways rule. This rule presumes asylum ineligibility for those who fail to use lawful processes, with certain exceptions. No one should believe the lies of smugglers. The border is not open to irregular migration. Individuals and families without a legal basis to remain in the United States will be removed, the CBP said in a statement. Hunters urged to abide by Wildlife Protection Act during bird hunting season. The National Environmental Planning Agency, NEPA, is urging hunters who will participate in the 2023 game bird hunting season to abide by the guidelines under the Wildlife Protection Act. The season opened on Saturday, August 19th and runs for 6 weekends until Sunday, September 24th. Environmental Coordinator for Fauna at NEPA, Ricardo Miller, told JIS News that there are 4 game birds that are recognized under the Act. These are the white-crowned pigeon, also called bald-pate white-winged dove, Zonoida dove, also known as pea dove, and the mourning dove, commonly called the long-tailed pea dove. He further informed that the season's hunting sessions are from sunrise to 9 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to sunset on Saturdays, and from sunrise to 9 a.m. on Sundays. For each session, a hunter with a valid hunting license is permitted up to 20 game birds, Miller said, adding that of the 4 approved birds, you can have no more than 15 white-crowned pigeons. It is also important to note that the feathered heads of all game birds shot must be retained on the bird for inspection. Miller pointed out that there are 17 established game reserves/sanctuaries across the island where hunting is prohibited. Some of them game reserves are wetland and areas with large amounts of mangroves where a lot of these birds are breeding. The white-crowned pigeon in particular likes to breed in mangrove areas, so we want to keep the hunting pressure away from those areas, he explained. Other areas where hunting is not allowed include forest reserves, the Blue and John Crown Mountains National Park, and within 50 meters of their boundaries. The environmental coordinator also wants Jamaicans to know that, Given how well the approved game birds reproduce and with the monitoring done each season, we are not in any threat of losing these birds on the island. He also emphasized that game wardens and members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force along with NEPA officers will do constant monitoring of hunting activities to ensure compliance. Each breach under the Wildlife Protection Act will attract a fine of up to $100,000 or 12 months imprisonment. Persons desirous of participating in the 2023 game bird hunting season must obtain a hunting license from NEPA's head office at 10 Caledonia Avenue, Kingston 5, or any of the authorized vendors island-wide. A hunting license costs $25,000 and all applicants must have a valid firearm license/user's permit for a shotgun to access the licenses. Hunters are reminded that hunting reports not completed and returned by December 31st of the same year of the season attract a late processing fee of $5,000, which must be paid before a subsequent hunter's license is granted. For additional information, persons may get a copy of the Hunter's Guidebook offered by NEPA at its offices or visit their website at www.nepa.gov. JM